Hello Carrier Aviation fans, this is Houndawg again. Today is 15 December 1940 and we are flying in the Bell XFL-1 Airabonita prototype. We are cleared on the catapult for launch and we will be returning for a final arrested landing. Military power. Looks good. Salute, head back. We are away and climbing. In January 1938, the U.S. Navy issued a specification for a light carrier-based high-altitude pursuit interceptor fighter to replace the obsolete biplanes then in use. On 11 April 1938, Bell, Brewster, Curtiss, Grumman, and Sikorsky submitted proposals, but only 3 received contracts to build prototypes. 2 contracts were awarded on 30 June 1938 for the Grumman XF-5F-1 Skyrocket and the Sikorsky XF-4U-1 Corsair. The 3rd contract, signed on 8 November, went to Bell Aircraft Corporation of Buffalo, New York for the XFL-1 Airabonita, a highly modified version of the Army's P-39 Cobra with a liquid-cooled inline engine. The P-39 was the first fighter to have tricycle landing gear and was specifically designed around the Oldsmobile T6 37mm cannon that fired 1.3-pound armor-piercing projectiles through the center of the propeller hub. The P-39 was powered by the 1,150 horsepower inline V12 Allison liquid-cooled engine with a 1-speed single-stage supercharger. The engine was installed behind the pilot and drove a 3-blade Curtiss electric propeller through a 10-foot long split drive shaft. Up until this point, the Navy had preferred air-cooled radial engines over inline liquid-cooled engines due to reliability, ease of maintenance, and the restrictions on storing the highly flammable ethylene glycol liquid coolant on board carriers. However, major advancements in superchargers and turbochargers had given the liquid-cooled inline engines advantages in power performance and fuel efficiency, especially at higher altitudes. The Navy was interested in evaluating the performance differences between the Airabonita's inline engine and the radial engines of the other aircraft. Unfortunately, the unique design characteristics of the P-39 made it a poor candidate for modifications into a naval aircraft suitable for sustained safe operations aboard an aircraft carrier. Achieving this goal would prove to be an insurmountable challenge. 2 of the major changes mandated by the Navy specifications required increasing the wing area to permit a carrier landing speed not to exceed 70 miles per hour, and the use of a conventional tail dragger landing gear configuration with a tailhook. To achieve the structural strength necessary for no-flare carrier landings, it was necessary to relocate the main landing gear from the mid-wing location to the front main spar of the wing. This in turn displaced the in-wing root radiators that had to be relocated to the outside bottom of the wing. To accommodate all of these changes, it was necessary to manufacture a new, larger, one-piece dihedral wing with larger flaps and flotation bag containers. In an attempt to improve longitudinal stability, the fuselage was shortened and the tail assembly enlarged. The airframe was also modified and strengthened to withstand carrier catapult launches and arrested landings. To overcome the poor pilot visibility during carrier landings, the seat and canopy were raised. The car-style doors that opened outward were retained, but were questioned by the Navy pilots who were accustomed to landing and taking off with the canopy open for easier exit or rescue. A small window was added in the belly of the aircraft just forward of the wing root to aid in carrier landings and dropping bombs. Armament was planned for two 30 caliber guns in the fuselage nose, plus the 37mm cannon, although no armament was actually ever fitted to the prototype. Finally, the Navy required 5 small bomb bays in each wing to carry a total of 40 5.2-pound bombs that could be dropped over enemy aircraft formations. All of these changes further aggravated the center of gravity and longitudinal stability problems that already existed in the P-39 and further increased the Airabonita's weight by 23%. The XFL-1 prototype was approximately 30 feet long with a wingspan of 35 feet and a maximum weight of 7,212 pounds. It flew for the first time on May 13, 1940, but testing was delayed due to difficulties with the Allison engine overheating and problems with the aerodynamics and balance of the aircraft. The Airabonita was transferred to the Naval Air Station Anacostia in Washington, D.C. for official testing in July of 1940. During these tests, the XFL-1 achieved a maximum speed of 322 miles per hour at 20,000 feet with a service ceiling of 30,900 feet. Bell had previously convinced the Army to delete the separate exhaust turbo-driven supercharger originally designed to enhance high-altitude performance of the P-39 Cobra. And as with the P-39, the Airabonita's performance seriously deteriorated at altitudes above 12,000 feet. The XFL prototype was returned to Bell for modifications in December 1940. Bell performed further wind tunnel tests and added fillets, dorsal fins, and duct modifications to the aircraft, but none cured the stability problems. Bell then tried larger horizontal and vertical tail surfaces with limited success. The XFL was returned to the Navy on 27 February 1941 for further testing, and on May 12, 1941, the carrier qualification testing began. The Airabonita passed the carrier catapult launch test, but failed the arrested landing test for a number of significant reasons. First, the aircraft's longitudinal stability was still unsatisfactory at the lower carrier landing speeds. Second, the center of gravity issues with the tail dragger landing gear configuration caused the tail to rise abruptly to a height that was likely to result in a propeller strike on the carrier deck. And finally, the landing gear main compression struts caused the aircraft to bounce or hop off the deck when landing. As a result of the failure of the Bell Airabonita to meet the majority of the Navy specifications, and with the significant performance superiority of the Vought F4U Corsair, the Navy signed a contract with Vought Sikorsky for 584 F4U-1 Corsairs on 30 June 1941. In February 1942, the only Airabonita ever built was transferred to the Aircraft Armament Unit at U.S. Naval Air Station Patuxent River, where it ultimately ended up in the landfill at the end of the runway.